Ah, Christmas. It's always over so quick, isn't it? Before you know it, the dinner is done, the crackers are pulled, and you're recycling all the bits left over from them. And you wonder what to do with the rest of your holidays. When the house has gone quiet and you're sitting there playing with your mince pie trays, trying to make something crafty out of them. Luckily, I planned ahead for just this occasion, and I was filming profusely in the run-up for my Christmas market, so that I could show you this delightful little Christmas fairy that I've made many, many times. It's really easy and it sells really well. So if you wanted to give it a go, here are some simple instructions to follow. We are going to be using a combination of wet felting and needle felting. I like to use at least 2 contrasting colors to make the dresses. All you need to do is pull off the tufts from the carded merino and lay them out in one long line next to each other. Then the tricky bit is to fold that whole strip in half and felt it a little bit more without pressing too hard on the edge, which is going to be the rim of the skirt, because you want it to be a little bit loose and fluffy. And then you carefully wash out that whole strip, and once it's dry, you're left with something that looks like this. And the nice thing about it is that one edge is nice and full and the other one is quite thin, and that really lends itself to make a ruffled skirt. And we make just a really simple little body, just over 10 centimeters long. And now you can start attaching your skirt to the fairy. And you do that by sort of gently folding it with the material. See how it layers down, and then just felt down those little creases. And you can use the slithers of the thinner side to start forming the top for the fairy. Now the nice thing is that you can really use this design in principle to make like so many different season fairies. I've made a little summer fairy, I make those little witchy ones in purple, I make those Christmas ones in red and in white. And yeah, we could really make any kind of season you like. It's a nice little basic skirt to work with. Or I make a pumpkin fairy as well, like that. So it's very adaptable to whatever kind of little fairy you want to make, and they're really popular because people like to buy something that costs less than a tenner, and I usually sell these for about £6 or £7 or something like that. So it's not going to break the bank, but it's a really cute little handmade item to have, I think. When you've worked your way all the way around the body with layering down the skirt, then you get to connect those 2 pieces. You could just fold them over, but it's kind of nice to connect them up. And then again you attach it to the body and felt it down a little bit in those creases to keep it in shape. I usually felt it in from the rim a little bit as well, like that, to give it a nice, what do you call that shape? Like a tulip shape almost? No, not quite. I don't know, just make it look nice. And while you're going along, she's got quite skinny legs actually. Her arms are much better proportion. And then you might need a bit of extra slithers to make up the top. We can use another color, or I use a slightly darker red here. And just layer that up over her arm and around the side so she doesn't look too naked. I think it's nice with one side of the material being much thinner It really prevents it from getting too chunky. So yeah, it helps to keep the whole fairy looking quite nice and dainty. There we go. And adjust the arms lengths and the legs if you need to. Give it another little twiddle. And then our basic fairy shape is done. Cute. Now we come to the finer details. I always like to make like a whole batch of things and work the stages up to a certain point. Like I like to make all the bodies and then I do all the hair. It seems to make a better flow. And I'm going to use a bit of silk. I've got some mulberry silk and some tussar silk. Just take a little wisp of that for the hair. I like to use the silk because it's nicer and it has a bit of shine. It makes it look more upmarket. Now this is a bit where you're most likely to stop yourself, because the head is quite small and you have to hold it fairly tight between your fingers. So if you get the angle wrong with your needle, I have stabbed myself a good many times doing this one, or smaller ones even. If you want to avoid that, you could probably stitch the hair on with a bit of thread. Just do it that way, it's a bit safer. But I mean, if you're felting, you're going to stab yourself eventually. You get used to it. It's a bit like snake bite, actually. If it's a small snake. Only difference is snakes have about 200 teeth, so yeah. And once her hair is nice and secure, it's time to make a little hat for her. And we just use the same strip. Let's cut off a little piece, maybe 5-6 centimeter long or something. You can pull it a little bit at the bottom to make it stretch a bit more. And then you attach it like what is it, like an elf hat or like a gnome hat? I don't know. Like a long pointy hat. I put little hats on some of my fairies. I don't know why, just for something different. It just works for some of them. Again, you could probably stitch that on, but it's just more in the flow to just felt it down and make it sort of sit nicely. Just stitching it down a bit more. So it looks more realistic. Like pull it down a bit more, really. And then you can just hand felt the tip of it just by rolling it between your fingers. And a last little adjustment on the arms and legs. From a little twiddle between your hands. And there's a basic fairy. I really like those. I think they're so cute. You can make really small ones and yeah, just vary a bit. And then we add a few little accessories, embellishments. In this case, I just put some little holly leaves on with some nice little red beads I've got. And a little bell on the top of the hat. And there we have it. Oh, you can add a little wand as well if you like. I didn't actually here, but it's another little addition. And yeah. There we go. Oh, the wings, of course. That's just another tuft of white merino felt. Let's tuft it down a bit in the middle. Stabbed a few times, hand felted, and then we sew that on. And there we are, beautiful little Christmas fairies. Thank you for watching.